Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Like Clockwork. It's Sunday evening again, and we're here to continue on with our story. And before we get into that, we're going to talk about anything that we have going on, because we do have some things going on. First of all, the main thing we have going on is this weekend, but maybe next weekend, because this weekend's not really over, but it's really this weekend because next weekend is the weekend after that weekend. The weekend of the 10th of April, we will be having our streamathon. It's going to be a great time. 37-hour streamathon. And if you haven't been to our Discord and looked to see what's available and signed up, then woe, because I think they're mostly filled by now, all our slots. So, but that's okay, because then you could just, hang out with us at the streamathon and just check out all the shenanigans that are going down. So, yeah. Other than that, what else do we have going on? Anybody? Anything? Anybody?
Hello.
John is yellow.
I am yellow. Actually, Panabon is yellow, which is why John is yellow. But I am slightly more glorious today because it is my 21st birthday times 14. You can only turn 21 so many times. The 21 times 14. So yay! Happy rising of certain deities, and happy birthday to me. So
happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday, John.
I'm gonna make this awkward. Happy birthday to you.
You can't
Happy
sing it up.
birthday to you. Happy birthday, John. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
And many more.
Give Panabon all the natural 20s, and we'll have Panabon doing all the killing today.
And
Panabon would love that.
And we did
all the seven.
Where's the other birthday song? Happy birthday. We really are impressed. Happy birthday. I don't remember the rest, but it still rhymes. Okay. Well, with that, I think that that's all our announcements. That's all our
and that's our show.
Our goonery here. So yeah, let's. My dog just whipped on out of the room. I don't know what happened. Maybe there's intruders. We'll find out if I die. But other than that,
we'll roll for initiative, but we won't be there.
Let's get started because it's time. Hello, welcome back. When we last left off last week, the caravan had been traveling through the desert, and they were dealing with the investigation because Uzenda was mad that somebody stole his books, and so he demanded that the caravan master do something about it. And the caravan master did. The caravan master wrangled all of the guards to do an investigation and see if they could find who might have stole the books.
Very successful investigation, might we add. So much success.
There was a lot of success if you take into account that it was the guards who had stolen the books. So, It's just kind of, that's how it goes. Needless to say, they did, however, have to get on their way. You can't just chill out in the desert and look for books for days and days and days. You'll run out of water and food. So the caravan started up again. And probably just after midday, there was a call from the front to be mindful of bandits coming from the southwest. And so the camel line was kind of pushed to one side as everybody got ready. And then indeed, bandits crested over the dune, started attacking. There was a near death with the camel, Lampira, because they decided to focus fire on it for reasons. However, Aegis saved the day with a little bit of camel love and care. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Up on top, they managed to dispatch all of the guards except one was still alive, and all of his fellows had been killed, brutally murdered, if you will. They're just trying to, make a living. But Lox decided not to shoot him point blank in the face. And so we pick up here with our prisoner and Perunia coming from the north to see what's going on because she was fighting in the front. And Rosalia coming from the back where she was fighting kind of closer to that side. So let us find them.
So I think as the commotion ends and we have our pile of dead bodies on my side, I'm going to look up and probably see Rosalia also moving to the front. So I'll join up with her and run over and see that there's one alive. And I'll be like, ha, we got them all. Looks like you missed one.
This one we kept alive for a reason. I want to know what he was doing out here. I mean, obviously he's a bandit, but like, we've been traveling for a couple of days. Is this normally? Are there other places that they ambush people just so we can be as safe as we can moving through here?
I mean, yes, there are normally bandits. I think you failed to miss the point here, Lox. You're supposed to dispatch with the bandits and then continue to the oasis.
Yes, but
guy.
if we can get
He's
some
been targeting
intel,
every caravan ever since he was 5 years old. Ask him.
Mr. Bandit, have you been targeting every single caravan since you were 5 years old? He asked me to ask.
You're speaking in the common tongue right now?
Yeah.
Okay. No. No.
I'll switch to Ashani. And I'm gonna I'm propping myself up on my shoulder and leaning over and be like, tell me one good reason why I shouldn't finish the job that these guys started. They think you seem to know something about this caravan. In Ashani.
We do not know anything about the caravan except it is a caravan.
I throw my arms up. I look at Lox. Told you.
We must survive in the desert, so what is one camel from 100? 2 camels from 100?
I motioned to Lox.
I don't know what you just said, and I'm like, what?
I don't translate at all. I just say, I told you so. Told you so.
So I was shouting over the dunes, is everyone all right?
Yeah, we got one up here. Perunia would like me to yell back that why do we have one when they are just common bandits?
I believe the word that I used was trash, but yes.
So you caught one? Is that what you're saying?
They missed one, is what I'm saying.
Well, I offered to take a pinky, but everyone seems like that's a bad idea. I don't know why.
I don't want to just go around killing guys. Yes, they attacked us. Yes, this guy is poor and trying to survive as well. So maybe I just didn't want to shoot him point blank like a murderer. I know we might be killing people around here, but
Sure, Lox, but now what are you gonna do? Just release him back into the desert with no food, no water, no weapons? He's gonna die anyway unless we take him with us.
They probably have a location. A
right.
place. I'm just
They
shouting.
He would also, and I was still shouting back. He would also probably know of other potential ambush spots, which could help us on our journey, so we run into them a little bit less. I think.
We do not have time for this bickering. Tie him up. Do something.
I tie him up. I hog tie him.
Okay.
Hopefully you tied him up the back of a camel.
Can you help Lampira, Aegis?
I grab onto Lampira's rein and I pull her ears close to me and I say Yuguimu Lampira, which means persist, which is my healing word.
Healing word.
That was beautiful.
You don't. Thank you.
The language that you said that was beautiful.
Oh.
All right, I believe that you are targeted, so you can just do your healing word.
Yeah, let me get that.
Up on top of the dune, Naka, she places a hand on Aegis's shoulder, or not Aegis's, Lox's shoulder, and gives him kind of just a little nod and a smile, like. And then she walks down towards her camel.
Right.
Lachlan, don't take this the wrong way, but you would be a horrible thief. I'm just letting you know right up front. You'd be a horrible thief.
I know some folks back home who would probably agree with you.
Oh.
And he
It's
sort of
okay.
laughs. And,
Nobody's perfect.
Wow.
takes the guy and sort of puts him on his own cap.
After I'm done with my healing word, I say quickly to Shay, perhaps one of these bandits has the books with them. And then I'm going to take off, start walking away. I have the rest of the caravan to take care of. I'll meet you all later. And I go around looking to see if anyone's dead in the caravan.
Oh, I was going to say, there's a lot of dead people.
Well, try to stop them.
Okay, so there are 3 members of the caravan have sustained injuries that are potentially that probably need healing. So that's how many healing spells.
3 healing kits.
Casting. Healing kits or healing spells, whichever you want to do.
Boop, boop.
As Aegis walks away, I kind of look from him to the giant dune and my little gnomish self and realize back and forth that I'm very alone and out in the open here. So I'm going to start kind of send Lampira back off to the group. And I'm going to start climbing the dune.
When you say send Lampira off back,
you know how like with horses, you pat their little butts in the direction you want them to go, and
okay, all right. So you jump up and hit the haunch of the camel.
Athletics check.
And it goes and just kind of looks at you, and then just looks ahead again, and then kind of takes a few steps, a little bit of a limp there, just a little bit, and then just stops. Looks around. Its mouth is going.
All
it's
right,
not eating anything.
You just stay right there. All right, I'm gonna climb up the the dune.
Okay, so you are climbing up the dune. It's easier to do if you kind of scramble on all fours, but yeah, you get up there after a while.
I go ouch, ouch, because the sand is really hot on my knees, my hands. All right, what do I see when I get to the top? What are you guys doing?
I hog-tied the guy and put him back on my camel and was getting ready to roll out, but
I get to the top and I start. Oh.
Well, Naka
I'm
Asala
actually-
is up there, the girl, the silent girl, and she's just kind of looking out over the expanse as well. She turns and looks over to you and smiles, and then just kind of like extends a hand as if to say, "Look at all this," as if you weren't looking at all of this.
This is terrifying. Oh, right. Good.
She walks up to you, reaches into a little pouch she's got, and then eventually her eyes kind of light up, and she takes out a small object. It's a circular object, and she proffers it to you.
I hold out my hand.
She sets it very very carefully into your hand, and then takes a step back. It's a compass. The face of the compass is cracked on the glass, but it does look like it works. There's a lot of kind of like corrosion along the metal base of the compass itself, but it looks like it works.
Do you want me to fix this? You're giving it to me? I don't suppose it would help to ask you why. In case we get lost? Oh, I really hope we don't. Well, thank you.
And with that, she gives you a last smile and then turns and moves down the dune towards her camel to get back rolling. Ogelia is kind of coming down the line, checking on everything, and she sees the guy strapped to the back of Lox's camel. What's that?
Interesting morals.
I'm going to take him back to the place so he can be like see a court or something. I don't know. What do you guys do here?
Oh, he's alive. That makes more sense to me. If that's what you want to do, there is a jail at Suslam, so I just hope that your kindness doesn't return to bite you in the ass someday. But do as you will. He is your responsibility. And then she turns and shaking her head just like, and just starts moving back down the rest of the way.
Brunia's gonna turn and look at him too, like, and then I'm gonna lean over to the guy you've tied up to the camel, and then in Ishani, I'm gonna whisper to him, say, "My friend here might have a big, generous heart, and then that's the reason that you're still alive. But I am not so generous, and I am very happy to kill you the moment you look sideways, the moment you try to sneak off, or the moment you try to steal something. Also, if I don't find you to be particularly useful, I'm going to kill you anyway because you smell bad. So I'll tell you what, you want to be here, you're going to be helpful. You can tell us where all of the favorite spots are to ambush all of the caravans, because otherwise, if we get ambushed again, I think I might just have to kill you first."
I don't know what she said, but it sounded pretty serious. You might want to listen to her.
We'll also roll an intimidation check, just because I can.
You can roll it with advantage because you have.
I will roll it again.
Ooh, and find out if they have any symbols as bandits.
Yeah, it's not
See
fair.
if they've got the class enough to have any symbols.
I have a question. Are Panabon and I the only ones still up on the dune?
I don't know if Panabon is, but you are.
I would like to do perception to see if there are any symbols or anything like markings of some kind in the sand, but that shouldn't take very long, I wouldn't think.
No, make a perception test. Or yeah, for now, make a perception test.
Okay, a perception test. How perceptive am I?
Okay, so probably not. The sand dunes would not hold a sign. Like if you were to try to draw even a really big simple sigil like a circle, it would just, the sand would just fill it in, cascade down.
It's good to know. No sense of style. No sense of style at all. Hi, Shayloon. Having a good day?
As I see the lady with the compass, what was her name?
Naka.
Naka. As I see Naka head down the dune, I whisper to Panabon, help me search the bodies. Let's see if they have any tattoos, any wealth, anything like that. And A just mentioned maybe we should plant the books on them.
Are you done with the books?
I mean, I would love to read them more. I would love to get everything in them, but I think I got everything relevant to this, and I've had them for 2 nights, and if I hold on to them any longer, we put the whole party at risk. So even though I don't want this scary guy to get what he wants and get them back, but we're all at risk until they're found.
It's true, but we are the only people up here still. So if we leave books, then we're going to have to call more people to come, and you're going to have to go get the books, or I'm going to have to get the books in the middle of the day.
Well, what I'm saying is if we search everyone right now, then we take the books with all the bandits' stuff and say, look, this is what we found on them. And then the guy's going to be all happy because his books are back and we've blamed it on the bandits.
Okay, I love stealing stuff. I'm okay with this. Good times.
All right, I wish the big people had stayed, but let's do this
It's
quick.
okay. It's true. Did you leave your camel down unprotected on the floor? Is Lampira okay?
She's just like 30 feet from the caravan. We took care, unless there's more bandits, but in that case, I think Lampira is about as awful as we are, so.
Yeah, she's kind of just, taking a couple of steps here and again, and then stopping and just looking around, and then
being a
couple
camel.
of steps, being a camel,
Okay. So what do I need to what do I need to roll or do for the searching? Yes.
Investigation, if you would like.
Might as well. Oh, not a very good investigation.
Oh yeah.
Shayloon, even as tired as she is.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
She is. She's so tired. All right, so picking through
that was a lot of dice.
What? No, that wasn't that many dice. Picking through everything, you managed to find 17. Let's see, 17, 16. Ooh.
Can I also take a gross finger that I can gift to the bandit that's still alive as a reminder?
You already have a gross finger, okay?
Look, there are a lot of bodies there, and you can take as many fingers as you want. There are
just the one.
I want to say that there's like 40 fingers you could take. So pick one.
I choose the coolest looking finger. Yes.
Okay. The coolest looking finger?
Yes.
This is messed up.
This is why he rolled a 3 on investigation. He was looking
for a cool finger.
Yeah, he's not
looking for the wrong thing.
So distracted.
All right. So you find 28 gold pieces.
Cool.
You find 17 pieces of silver. You find 22 pieces of copper. And of course, they have their little hand crossbows. They have some short swords, some daggers.
Anything that looks particularly nice quality?
Absolutely not.
Cool.
Also, they smell really bad as you are digging through their stuff.
Gross. So just gold and weapons is all they have on them?
Yeah, pretty much. Their shoes might be like the most put together, like still functioning parts of their clothing, but their shoes are pretty ratty too. So
no tattoos or distinctive markings of any kind?
not that you see.
Okay. Well, I don't need these daggers. They're not as good as mine. They're just gonna weigh me down in the desert.
I'm gonna take the 22 copper, the 17 silver, and 6 gold pieces, and separate them from the rest. I'm gonna split 11 and 11 gold piece between me and Panabon, and then that the rest of it is what I'm gonna say that was found, and then I grab up, like I put that in one of their ratty pouches and collect the books, or take the books out of the satchel and like carry them awkwardly down the dune, and I'll go try to find the captain. I'm also like totally pissing myself right now because like if this doesn't work, we're in so much trouble. But like, this is stressful.
Okay, so but you're leaving all of the weapons and stuff. You're not taking any of that.
No, we are weak, and they aren't particularly nice looking. So
no, they're not. All right, so you get down. I'm going to say that you parcel out whatever gold and copper's left, so everyone gets a little bit.
And I'll Panabon, can you grab Lampira and guide her back to the caravan?
Yes. And as I do that, I also just take the gross finger that I cut off and I just gently put it on the guy's nose that's hanging upside down in my bind, and just like hang it off of them like an ornament. And I just go, a reminder. And then I just jaunt off back to Lampira.
Cool.
These things happen. All right, so yeah, these things happen. As the caravan gets underway, you now have the books and the gold. What are you doing exactly with that?
I'm heading to the captain.
Oh, okay. So Ogelia actually had walked to the back of the caravan to check on things, so she's coming from the back towards the front, so you can just actually catch her as she comes by.
Oh, that's perfect. So like I make a show of being extra slow coming down the dune so that she sees like that's where I am and this is where I'm coming from with this stack of books that looks way too big for little Shay. And I kind of slide down the dunes a little bit, but I kind of like wave to her, but I don't want to make a big fuss of drawing attention to these books. So
okay. She walks over to you. Yes, little one.
I found. Well, they had some money. The bandits that we fought. I don't know how many were. Anyway, here's some money that was on the bandits, and here's I wonder if these might be the books you were looking for.
She ignores the proffered money pouch and looks right at the books and says, well, I suppose we'll see. Make a deception check.
This is the part I was worried about. God damn it.
Yeah. Do you still have some inspirations or nat 20s?
From last time? I had a whole bunch last time, but I don't remember anymore. And
Hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just going to very slowly bring up my character sheet. So if anyone in the chat would like to donate to the cause or anything. Help me out a little.
For John's birthday.
For John's
Give Sarah not
help
20.
me.
It'll be
Alright,
hilarious when you fail. So
here we go.
I think also Tom made a great point. She didn't say that the books were on the bandits. She said that the gold was on the bandits.
she did.
I did not lie.
That's because you're bad at it.
I know. I didn't roll too bad for my disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean that's decent.
That's pretty good considering disadvantage, indeed. All right, so she just kind of raises an eyebrow. She takes the books and then turns and starts kind of doing her little hobble step towards the back where Uzenda would be.
I'm not gonna go with her.
Smart.
Like,
Yeah.
I did my job. Disengage.
Well, they're gonna
Act it.
interrogate this guy on my camel.
Oh my god.
Yup.
All right. Well, with that, the caravan does start moving, even though Galia is still kind of in the back. The day is passing on. That was in the afternoon, and the sun is, after a couple of hours, the sun starts to go down. And eventually, Norsum calls for the camp, and everything gets circled up. Anybody doing anything in particular?
Hey Shay, did you tell us all that you guys did this yet?
I would wait until we were all camped for the night. Because I assume if the caravan's moving on, then I would be back in my line, doing my job like a good person does when they have a job to do, and just told a big lie.
When you finally tell me, I'm gonna look at Lox and be like, "That man's a liability.
Loose end, loose
He's
end.
got to go."
Hearing what Shaylun has done, thinking it is smart, but also with this live person, it is a liability. I would say you're right, but I don't want us to. I've seen too many people just go around killing people for no reason. So no,
You can say my name. It's okay.
it's not
Fox,
just you, Panda.
I'm not saying you have to kill him. We can stage an escapement. We know what he's saying. You should. I'm not going to push you against anything you're not comfortable with. I don't like when people do that to me, and I'm not going to do that to you. But I'm saying he cannot stay with this caravan.
You're right. All right. Then the one drawback I see from this is an escaped convict on our time makes us look bad as guards.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yes, Lox. Yes, it does.
Stealing from the people that we're supposed to be protecting also isn't good. So I'm just gonna put that out there. So
Hey, we're
all
all
right.
equally bad at this, okay?
All right. So how are we gonna do this?
Tonight I will take God with Panabon, and he can escape on our watch.
I'm okay with that.
Can I at least take a pinky?
No.
No.
Can't leave a calling card. Can't take a pinky. Fine. They're all boring.
Before we send this man off to wherever he's going, I'm gonna give him some of my rations and some water. Just a little bit of mine. What's mine? I refuse to just let this man die out there because of me. All right, I get it. None of y'all like this idea. That's fine.
They do live out here.
Right.
know
Yeah,
this.
and they take advantage of people, but they also take advantage of people because look at what he's wearing. Look at what all the other guys he was fighting with were wearing. Their life is no easier than these merchants. They just have been given a hard ass time.
I don't disagree with you, Lux. You know, I'm the first one to agree that I don't think murder is right. I definitely look at Panabon while I say that, but I say, I'm just saying that he's likely familiar with this way of life. So.
Yeah.
And
No,
guess what? We can say that he confessed under torture that they did steal the books right after we release him.
Maybe it's unnecessary to add any more to the story.
Look at Aegis. Like, probably.
I'll reach into my bag and take out some more stored, possibly not good food. You have good intentions, Mr. Dossett, and I'll hand you some more food.
Give him this chicken.
So gross.
He will not have to worry about the salmonella later.
Yeah. All right. So
the idea is to wait until watch, and then he escapes during the watch. Well, that seems like a good plan and all. However, it is before watch begins that you see 3 figures moving in your direction. One in the front, flanked by 2 guards, if you will, as Uzenda approaches your camp.
here we go.
Let
I release the guy right now.
I was going to say, let's move toward them so that this guy got up here.
So Perunia yanks the rope, and the guy just kind of falls to the ground and just looks at you wide-eyed.
I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna lean down and say, "Run for your life now! These 3 are gonna kill you."
Okay. His eyes widen, and he gets up and he just starts running out into the desert. As soon as that happens, Uzenda says something to his guards, and they just start tearing off after him.
I wasn't wrong.
Uzenda looks over at who was approaching?
Lux, chase them.
Yeah, I'm gonna run in after him.
I stand up as if I'm going to, but I don't, and I have my tea in my hand.
Real threatening there, Aegis.
It appears your prisoner is escaping.
I'm already running. But not as I'm running, looking like I'm running at my best, and then I'm gonna trip and fall and roll into the dude.
Mr. Locks is very fast. I believe he will catch him.
We look so incompetent. But I guess better incompetent than guilty.
Slippery one. They were much smarter than they looked.
I see.
I heard they even took the books.
That is what I was told. It seems odd that they would do so, bandits in the desert, but...
Yeah, they didn't look like they were worth much, honestly. Don't know why anyone would want them. I stare at him meaningfully.
Well, I don't imagine one such as you would have any use for learning.
Oh,
That
fair enough.
said, my men will catch him, or they won't. Good evening. And he turns on his heel and walks away.
You are welcome, Uzenda.
If he heard, he makes no sign.
I want to hug Roland so hard right now.
That was great.
All right, Lux, you are running. They are running. You are going to... you are all going to catch this guy. He's not getting away. Like, that's the thing.
All right. So I see. I imagine I see these guys being really fast and I'm about to catch this guy, and I'm going to dig deep down and really be like, Vodka, as I'm running, just if there's anything you can do to stop these guys from getting this dude, I would be eternally grateful. Like just a big plead for something, just because this is bad for all of us. They catch
him. You don't hear anything in particular or see anything in particular. You kind of wonder if maybe you have any tricks up your sleeves that you might be able to employ before they catch him. I mean, you're all going to catch him. Like I said, they're not any faster than you really, but they did have, like 10, 15 foot head start.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And it's just like flat dunes, or like, is it big dunes, flat?
It's dunes. It's not as deep as it was before, but it's definitely still sand and like running on a beach, and then at the top of the beach is down to another beach, and then it just kind of goes like that.
I don't really have anything that I can do beyond just yelling that there are more bandits, which is not good for the entire.
How far away are they?
I mean, getting further and further. I mean, in the time of that conversation, 30, 60, maybe 600 feet away.
Yeah. Let me see if I can do something with that. Friend. No. All right. I am looking. What can I do with this? I can. Yeah. I don't really. I mean, like, the most I can do is like bedazzle them with sparkles, or like a puff of wind, or like those kinds of things. Like,
you could try to blind them with sparks or something.
Rip them up. Blind them with sand.
Shoot their feet. Like
it says harmless sensory effect. So shooting them in the eyes does not, like that, like with sand, is not harmless.
That's your prestidigitation, right?
Yeah, that would be prestidigitation. Yeah.
But they could think something just exploded and like dodge a little bit and at least slow down. You never know.
That is a better option for that. So yeah, I could try that. Yeah, I'm try that. So like, how big is it? It's not very big, right? It's 1 cubic foot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's little.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee it being useful. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Minor illusion. Cast a sound or image within. It can be your voice. Someone. I'm going to cast minor illusion to both of them with Uzinda's voice, telling them to stop.
Ooh, like that.
Okay.
That's a cantrip, and it says I can do people's voices.
That's cool as shit.
There we go.
All right, so you cast a spell, and they are going to hear Uzinda telling them to stop. It's a minute long, so
Yeah, I mean, I'm running.
Stop.
Well, I mean, like stop, just stop. Or are you gonna have them
No,
stop and then do something else, or like
The whole spell's a minute long.
so you can
Yeah.
just say stop, and that's only an instant, or you can be like stop, come back, or
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them to stop and come back immediately. It's not worth chasing this fool or something like something angry and ornery the way that
say what it is. Tell me what he says.
Collaborate and listen.
He says, "You fool, stop immediately before, like, he's not worth chasing. We got what we want," that kind of thing.
Got what we want. All right. You do notice that they slow up and eventually come to a stop as you are running past. They turn and look back in confusion.
And then I'm gonna slow down and be like, "What's going on?" And I'm going to just be like, "Well, I wanna act like I'm so out of breath that I'm about to like pass out."
Okay. One of them kind of reaches over and grabs what looks like a small pole, and then to the side and grabs another piece, and you realize it is a rifle that's been broken down into the barrel and the receiver, and just clacks it together, and you see him taking aim out into the desert.
Right. I don't like that. That's not good. I can't attack these guys because they'll murder me, and I can't really do anything. All right. I mean, I'm going to disarm him.
Oh.
I'm not attacking. I am disarming. I'm like, we're gonna shoot this man.
Okay, so you are going to shoot his gun out of his hands.
Locks, don't die.
You guys, I just.
Hi, Locks. Nice knowing you.
Yeah, no, I think it's
because you're by yourself.
No, I'm not gonna do that. That would be dumb. You're right. I'm not gonna do that.
Your gun's out. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna do that. I am going to. Wait. What can I do? Create an image. A creature. I'm going to make a minor illusion 30 feet ahead that is the same shape as the guy.
50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Like a mirage.
Kind of. It's much easier to tell it's not a mirage, but yeah.
Okay, so he pauses, and then he takes aim and he fires. So what happens?
Which one does he fire at?
That is the question. 1 second here.
I tried to help this guy.
I'm so
tried.
You're doing so much for him. Like he just.
I'm only doing so much now because I like I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like.
Mm-hmm.
You're committed at this point. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have
right,
a
so what does
question.
he do?
How long is this taking? Out of curiosity.
I mean, while you guys were talking, they had run out, so they're like 600 feet out. If you want to start like actually counting combat rounds to get to them,
it will take you forever.
It will take some time.
No. What I actually want to do is I want to sneak into Ugenda's tent and put the growth finger on the dresser.
Well, he went back, so I don't know if
not gonna have the time to do that.
We can play that out. I'm just saying that he's not still there, and he didn't go running out. He said,
if the DM wants you to do it, I'm gonna say
and ran
as a group.
Sort of thing. I didn't say I want him to do it. I'm just saying that's a thing they could do.
That's a horrible idea.
Can we at least sneak versus perception? Because I will nope your ass.
So you do. Everyone hears the report of a rifle, a gunshot. Looking out, you do not see either of the forms fall. Obviously, because one is an illusion and the other one obviously didn't get shot. The man like starts pulling the bolt back to load another round.
So one's illusion, one's the guy. He shot once. The guy's
Right,
not down.
and the illusion is still running. And keep in mind that a minor illusion is not a concentration spell. You cast it.
Right, I can just keep casting it and having it.
Keep casting it and having more and more and more appear if you want. Yeah, there's nothing that says you can't do that.
That's what I'm.
There is a somatic component, so you're like pointing or something, you know.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, who's that? And who's that?
Yeah, he's like a bunch of them. How's this happening? Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Ignore that. That was me accidentally grabbing the wrong thing. Let's see here. There's 4 now. Okay, and now there's 5. Okay. There's a total of 5 shots, about 6 seconds between. And then finally he just lowers his rifle and looks at the other guy. They both kind of look at you, and then they just turn and start walking back towards the camp.
I'm just gonna put my hands in my head, or my head in my hands, and just go, oh shit. And then start walking back.
Over the course of that situation, I'm walking towards the end of the outskirts of the camp, just because I'm concerned about gunshots. That many gunshots.
Well, they all very obviously came from the same direction,
Right.
and that's the direction that those folks ran in. So, but yeah, you're cruising around, just trying to make sure everything else is okay. The camp is abuzz, though, like gunshots, and there are people wondering what's going on. That is for sure.
I walk back and I go, who do I see first?
You see me, because I'm like looking to make sure you're okay.
I run over to Aegis and I just go, I don't know if I got us in more trouble or if I got us in less trouble.
Did he get away?
I don't know.
You don't know if he got away.
I did my best to help him to get away. I couldn't go and check in the moment, if you catch my drift.
Well, we've done our job. Let's just retire back and continue from there.
And you just see Locks just like wide-eyed, like, I can't believe all that just happened.
Okay. You arrive back at camp. Again, everyone is abuzz, but mostly the situation's calm after people kind of figure out what happened.
I go hug Lox's leg.
Thanks, Shay. I mean, this is my fault. I got us in this mess, so.
There is no mess. The man is gone.
You're welcome.
I kind of glare at Perunia.
Did you want him to get interrogated? Was that your goal here? It worked.
What we were able to find out, though, was that the guy Uzenda came here specifically to talk to him because he wanted nothing to do with us as soon as he got away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was also fairly obvious how he got away.
Okay, well, I definitely has something to do with that. I didn't make it obvious.
What? You literally pulled the rope.
Did I? Or
You
did
guys
the
are
rope
really
just
bad
slip?
at being sneaky.
Or did the rope just slip? The rope doesn't slip when I tie it.
At least try to be subtle.
Okay, you brought the books back. Obviously, he already knows it's us. We're sus as hell at this point.
Yeah, and I wonder if those guards. I mean, I had to create some illusions to try to help the guy get away, and those guards, let's just say, aren't not suspicious.
Look, Shaylun did not take the books from the man who ran away. She took it from a dead body, which cannot speak for itself. The man got away. Who knows if he knew what their intentions were with the books? So we had nothing to worry about. We did our job. They are back where they belong. Let us have
We're in
some
the
food
clear.
and go to sleep.
Amateurs. I'm working with amateurs. It's like day one in the Thieving Guild.
I actually kind of like. I don't often agree with Panabon, but I can't argue that right now.
All right. Well, eventually the tumult dies down and the camp grows quiet, and it is time for everyone to take their watches. The first watch shift, of course, was Aegis and Panabon because that was set up prior to
The escape.
Runapalooza.
the escape. So yeah, Runapalooza.
The escape question mark.
Yes. Yeah. So that is the first watch. Is
So
there anything
Aegis,
particular?
Aegis, I'm a really I like to stab things. Obviously, you know that about me. I think I've made that pretty clear.
It goes without saying.
Yes, I like to say it though because I like stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
So, was Lachlan right? Are we just am I just too stab happy that I just did not care what happened to the bandit? Like I know you want to save people, but who was in the right in that situation? What do you think? What does Deep Away think? What does your god think?
Are you asking me to analyze your morality?
No, I'm asking who would you have sided with? Or what would your god do? I'm just curious because for me it's people live, people die. It's not a big deal. But I'm just wondering if it's an interesting question. It's like an opportunity, should people live kind of question.
Yes.
Hmm.
My moral compass is not based on what Nipoe has told me. I am guided by my own principles. And I would not be a man of healing if I did not value life. I know that it does not appear that way, but certainly life is valuable. People deserve a chance to live life the way that they desire.
Interesting. So you don't have to believe the same thing as your god, because with Malfrune you have to believe everything Malfrune believes. Pretty much that's what the Inquisition is about. So you don't have to believe.
You have a longer experience with religion than I do.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, it's funny because I don't actually believe in Malfrune, but that's pretty much all you get in Paladin. So,
You know how I came to know Nipoe? Have I ever told you? Why am I asking that question? I don't tell anybody anything. Let me tell you how I met Nipoe. I am a mercenary by trade. Not the greatest mercenary, but it is much more exciting than my previous life, which was that of just a healer. On a job, I accompanied an archaeologist to an ancient site, and there we found a woman encased in a tomb. It was amazing. I don't know how someone could survive in a place like that. But she did not seem harmed. She did not seem sick. During that scuffle, someone who I thought was my friend betrayed us and killed somebody, my other friend, who was very dear to me. The woman who we found there raised my friend to life again after dying. I'd never seen such a thing. I'm a man of science. I only believe what I see with my own eyes. It was difficult for me to accept, but something in my mind formed a bond with her. She never told me her name, but in my mind I knew that her name was Nipoe. After that, for several months, I found that I had magic, as many people in the world had. And the only one who I could attribute to this was the woman who I had met. So I am not someone who is devout to an idea that someone has told me about at a church or at a place of worship. I only know what I know, and I have no choice but to follow her because she has shown me the value of life before my eyes.
I hope you never have to see I hope you never have to see the thing with no hands and a long tongue, because I think that's the opposite of life. Still think about it sometimes. But thank you for sharing that with me.
Mr. Lox and I once fought a creature that continually flatulated, it seemed.
Well, that's at least funny.
It was not funny at the time. I pull out a vial. And it's full of green ooze. This is the remnant from it.
Forgot to take that.
Does it have a scent? Could we make a scent bomb out of it?
Be my guest to test it.
Sure. I'm going to test the scent, I guess.
Right now?
Yes, because that's the kind of person I am.
So you're opening it up and you're smelling it.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's what's going to happen.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Sweet.
Do you drink it?
Don't drink that.
No drinking, but let's see how I do.
Oh.
So we're gonna reduce that by 2. It appears you still have the blessing on you from earlier.
I
check that real quick.
Yeah, Aegis blessed like 3 of us.
Yeah.
All right, so that's still a success. It is putrid. Even not like losing your dinner, you don't want to do that again. That said, you're fully convinced that if you were to make some sort of throwing device with this inside of it, you could probably do. It would be useful. You're fairly certain.
When you look up from smelling that vial, I have a notepad out. Could you explain to me what you smell?
Have you ever crawled through a sewer? I don't know how to explain this, but in Pelican, there's different levels that people live at, and then under that is sewers, and kind of below that is there's layers. It's like a cake, and it's kind of after a celebration, but everybody's had really rich food, so it's you could use this for gardening, I guess, but it's also. It's just going to stay there for a while until the rains come. It's like that. And I put the stopper back on. I will say, I think this would be excellent if I make a little catapult and then we just catapult it at a bad person. I think they would cease to be bad if you used it with a little bit of force.
Sewer cake fertilizer that has been standing long. I was a fool to have you use descriptors.
You're welcome. I like having watch with you. We should do this more often.
Maybe. I take back the vial.
All right.
I got nothing else.
As your watch winds down, you wake up the next watch, which is Lox and Shayloon.
All right. Lox is pretty quiet on the beginning of this shift. I think usually he would be more talkative, he'd be joking, but he's just kind of not necessarily sad, but just sort of contemplative.
Shay, takes on, kind of reads that, and she's distracted herself because she's worried about the fallout from this and stuff like that, and so she sees Lox and kind of keeps extra alert and gives him some space, and does the patrol on her own.
Okay. Perunia, in your sleep, you are back in the alleys of Flanopofel, running and running and running in the back alleys, and it seems like there's nowhere you can go that that leads to an escape from those alleys, that leads to a lit street, that leads to a market street, that leads to home, that leads anywhere other than a dark alley. And in those alleys there are shadows. The shadows are constantly reaching out and reaching out and reaching out, and then you run into a dead end, and you know that behind you the shadows are coming and they're closing in, and just as one of them reaches out to grab you, you feel yourself being shaken awake by Lox. As
I wake up in a kind of a cold sweat, and you've woken me up before, Lox, but I'm like seriously agitated, and I like don't know where I am for a second.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm fine. And I'm gonna get up and I roll up my pack and I don't say anything else, and I just go up to Rosalia, who I imagine is coming out of her trance.
yes. So now that you are out of the trance, you see Perunia. It's not hard to tell, Rosalia, that Perunia is very much troubled. She seems distracted.
Are you okay?
Not here. Come. And
Okay,
I
bye.
walk off with her on our thing. This isn't something I want to tell the rest of the group.
What's wrong?
I had the dream again. Today, what I look up and the sun has not yet risen, but today will be 1 year since Natashka's death, and I feel like I can't escape the feeling of her killer still being out there and free, and it's just eating inside me.
You didn't tell me the story, sister Natasha, and I don't know about the killing, but I think you should tell me more about it so I understand how if I teach it.
Well, I wasn't there. It sounds like the only person I know of that was there was Panabon, of all people. I looked and I looked and I looked for her that night when she went missing. She didn't come home. Um, and that's in my dream. I'm searching and I'm looking and I'm running through all these shadows, and I can feel that if I just turn the right corner, I'm gonna find her, and then I would be able to stop her murder. But I wasn't there, and I didn't find her in time, and she was killed. The high priest, had her killed, we think, based on what I understand from Panabon, that he was involved in some of the deadomancy stuff, and Natashka was his clerk. And so she must have come upon it or learned something about it and gotten killed over it. I don't know. And when we tried to find out more, Panabon murdered a guard, and we got freaking a warrant out for arrest and left the city. So I have not gone back since that time, and I'm afraid if I just accuse the high priest, my family will be targeted and suffer. So I can't directly or in a legal above board standpoint finger him in the murder, and I have no evidence other than Panabon, and nobody's going to believe them ever over anything. Even Panabon themselves couldn't stand on a witness stand and give a clear story, because they can't speak in full sentences about the truth. So the only option I have is to go back and confront the high priest and, I don't know, murder him. I don't know. I never saw myself as like a revenge killer type, but like I don't know. These days, it's looking better and better to me.
No, yeah. In my home, I'm from Dublin, so you don't talk very much when it comes to emotions like being sad and comforting others. So this is not something I can do, but I do feel, I know how it feels to be someone that's close to you, to myself, and I know that it's very painful. So I'm sorry for your loss. And in terms of revenge, you might feel like you're the cleanest person on earth, but when it comes to it, at some point or other, everyone has thought about getting revenge towards someone who's wronged them. And I don't see anything wrong with that. It's not human, it's very dragon-like. So I understand where you're coming from with this. And, even in this life, if you do not find your killer, or if you feel that there's no vengeance towards your killer, there's always karma. And in my world, karma is very. But now that I'm here with you, hopefully that karma will come to pass as here, both on this, I don't know what this is, planet, wherever this world is. And hopefully we'll find revenge. But, if you keep having those dreams, maybe they're telling you something, or it's something that's not resolved in your spirit. And maybe that's something that you will find out on this journey. I mean, everything is possible.
Thank you, friend. I don't know what else that I would do without you. I know I put on a brave face, but this is something I deal with and think about often, and I feel like you are the only person I feel comfortable enough to have this conversation with.
I didn't know that you traveled with anyone for this.
I think that you and I understand each other in a way of a warrior, that, well, I know that Shay would think that I'm a bad person for wanting revenge, and Lox obviously couldn't even kill a bad guy, so there's that. Panabon would have no problem killing the high priest right now, and he just probably couldn't be bothered. So, of everybody, I feel like you are the only person who can understand my heart in this.
You can be a reason, and you can wish no one harm. There's always going to be people out there that want to harm you, that want to kill you for no reason. So even if you are a good person, sometimes these thoughts are helpful just because they give you a sense of boundary to protect yourself, because you can't just sit there and let people attack you. That's just from my word.
And see, because you think that way is why I love you. And I hug Rosalia, whether she wants it.
And I push her back a little because I don't like physical contact. And I
know that about you, and I hug you anyway.
And I'm still pushing back on her, and I give her like a really awkward head nod, and I try not to grunt, and then I just go, and I give her another nod.
I pull myself back up.
Are you good?
I think I'm good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Do you want to head back to watch, or do you want to stay here?
Yeah, I mostly want to keep an eye on Usenda's area and make sure he doesn't come around or come out of his tent tonight.
Something I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's do more than that and less hugging.
And so the rest of your shift passes. As you do check on Usenda's part of the camp, you do notice that it is quiet there. The two guards standing, as they do, in front of the tent, noticing you as you pass, but not acknowledging you whatsoever. And soon the sun rises over the dunes as you begin to travel another day across the desert. The day passes uneventfully. If everybody that is not Rosalia and Perunia can give me insight checks, please.
Love to.
Could you please take off my disadvantage?
Oh, look at you getting a full night's rest.
I know, I do again.
All right. Starting with the rest. All right.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Hold on. The rest is the part of it, and then the getting rid of the exhaustion is the next part of it.
But I just got a nat 20.
I saw. So it regardless, all of you can tell that Perunia's in a that she's got something on her mind, or that she's got something going on that's got her quiet. She's usually, she's usually a little bit like, she's that rambunctious kind of rowdy, you know, gladiator, look at me kind of type. And today it's like she kind of wants maybe for people to not see her. But and you notice this, it's noticeable, but yeah, that is the extent of that, unless anyone wants to approach and try to engage.
What I do is I put a very full plate of food in front of you. Get strong. We have a long day ahead, and I walk away.
It's food. If it smells okay, I pick at it.
I didn't cook it. There's a cook in the camp, and so I have a relationship with him now. So I'm bringing food back to the group.
Indeed.
I take it and I stand away from the group, and I do eat some of it. Thank you.
I actually do want to talk to Perunia today.
Okay.
I sort of approach, understanding that, there seems to be something on their mind. I have no idea what that is. So Locks being Locks is going to go over and try to have a conversation. And he goes, you said you were all right when I woke you up, but you kind of seem a little different today. What's going on?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And I move to my camel and start checking the riggings aggressively.
I'm going to go to the other side of the camel and assist. And I go, yeah, I feel like we have some things to talk about, because I feel like you don't agree with the choice I made yesterday, which is fair. You don't have to. But I want you to know, whatever you're dealing with, we like, I'm here to help if you ever want to let others in.
I lean over the camel and say, Lox, this has
Mhm.
nothing to do with yesterday. I don't care if you're not a cold-hearted murderer. In fact, probably good that somebody else isn't in this group. I respect your moral choices, and I'm gonna go now. I tap him on the shoulder, and I head out.
Right. And I'm gonna finish rigging up her camel.
Okay. Does anyone else try to find Farunya and have a conversation? Here comes Shayloon.
Oh God, I'm not having a good day.
So since we can all sense this, I kind of like watch her, and I'm trying to think what it could be, because yesterday she was very Perunia and today she's not very Perunia. So I think it's entirely because I was too hard on her and yelled at her too hard. So I kind of just like watch her go by as she's getting everything ready to rig up and packing up the campsite and stuff, and till finally, like, I just kind of I've been trying to say something, but I'm not very good at this. I'm not very, like, I don't have friends at home. So, like, finally, I just kind of shout at her. I'm sorry I was mean yesterday. You're a really good fighter. And
Thanks, Shay. She kept walking.
she's really mad at me.
Probably.
That's all I'll do right now.
Right. Panabon, do you make any connections?
I feel like Panabon should have to roll for that.
Yeah, I feel like I should. Like,
Sure. If you want to make
a
an intelligence check, you can, and you can set your DC however you want, and then you can just decide if you remember what's today is.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to think it's like
yeah.
festival or something. I actually have a gold. Can I use my gold for that?
You remember then. You are using your gold to remember that on this day, 1 year ago, you were following some people through the alleys and witnessed them do their dirty deed. Thank you, Reverend, for that gold.
Yes, thank you, Reverend. So things are getting packed up, and I've noticed that, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh wait, and I'm that. I know we don't have this in Caiaphas, but I'm the meme of the woman from the telenovela with like all of the numbers and equations going across her face, but in Caiaphas, in my head. And I just think, and then I kind of think about what Lachlan did and the conversation I had with Aegis. And I'm just like, And I think about the idea of Nipue, and I think about the idea of Lachlan's god, who I perceive to be super moral. And what I do is I have that gauntlet, right, that has the knife in it, the really shiny rail dagger. Is that something I can take off of that?
You can remove the dagger from the gauntlet because you're not entirely certain how it all works. So you lock it in there, but then you've been taking it out to use at this point.
Okay. So I've used the gauntlet to do things.
You've used
with?
the gauntlet just as a gauntlet. It's a very pretty jeweled gauntlet. The dagger itself you can place into the gauntlet, but it doesn't do anything except it's like a sheath as far as you're concerned right now.
Okay.
You can tell that there's more to it. You just haven't figured out what that is yet. So until then, it's just a sheath.
Figuring out how I want to do this. Can you see the dagger inside the gauntlet?
It is a little more hidden than it would be if it was at your belt.
Okay. Well, I don't really actually need the gauntlet at the moment, so I take the gauntlet off of my hand, and before we leave, I just kind of trot over, and I just hand the gauntlet without and I say just examine it, and then I just walk off.
I take the gauntlet, and obviously the events of a year ago are pretty top of mind, and I'm like, that little fucker. That's the stupid thing that he took from the high priest's house. And then I
Did you give her
realized,
the
like,
dagger
I've
with
given
it?
it back to you.
I
Yeah,
think
the dagger's inside the gauntlet.
Okay.
and I pull it out, recognize it. I hold on to it for the day. But back at camp, I return it to Panabon, and I tell him thanks, but it doesn't bring her back.
I know, but I was a jerk, and I'm still a jerk, and I'm probably going to be a jerk, but I have family too. So I do have a really cool idea, though. Aegis has like this stink bug potion. We could put it up Flumgesu's nostril.
She's pissed.
Oh,
Yeah. No.
Alex
So
didn't even
pissed.
want to hear it.
yeah, I don't know.
She walks
Gone.
away.
I don't know how
Gone.
to So,
All right.
so that's something we could potentially do if we end up ever having to go back to Flinopafel. It's a really bad sting potion, and I really think shoving it up his nose is a good first step on the road to the justice that he deserves.
I lean into Panabon and I say, Panabon, this is one guy I'd definitely be okay with stabbing. And with that, I hand him back the knife and the gauntlet, and I walk away.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good day.
And with that good day passing into the next night, we are going to take our 10-minute break, and we will return and come to the end of this first leg of this journey across the desert. So please come back with us, and we'll see you in a few. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, with another day behind the group, we move on to the next day. A day that passes by mostly uneventfully. However, you could start to see some birds in the sky that aren't the vultures that had been trailing you for most of the trip so far. You noticed less of them the day before. But now you're seeing smaller birds, still not any like little birds, but like seagull-sized birds that are flying and kind of coasting up, but ahead of you, like far ahead. There's a shift in the geography as the dunes give way eventually to more craggy, rocky sort of dry craglands, badlands, maybe a lot of sandstone sort of rocks and formations. Every once in a while, you catch sight of some sort of plant just trying to push itself out and grow and survive in this harsh environment. But otherwise, the day does pass uneventfully.
Question: Do we start to see any symbols that might look like a squid? Or anything like that? Like on the way to town, are there any markers or anything?
Like billboards on the way into a town?
No, not like billboards. But like
Means,
so.
I think he means.
If you are
so
keeping
like
an eye out specifically for anything like that, you can make a perception test. For those who aren't, it's just we're going to use we're just going to use your passive perception, right? So
use my active perception. Nope.
you do not see any squid markings. But otherwise, the day does pass uneventfully, and you make camp for the final night. The anticipation is that you will be at the oasis the following later part of the following day, maybe getting into evening. And there's general high spirits throughout the caravan. A welcome reprieve from the heat and the sun, as everyone is expecting that to be able to take a break and take a rest for a few days. That said, the guard still is posted that night, and unless anyone has anything that they want to accomplish, we are going to move ahead to the following day.
As we're getting close to the oasis, I just remind everyone, like, remember, we need to make sure that Zivit doesn't leave our sight. We got to make sure that he's safe.
I say very seriously, do we need to make a disturbance? Remember we were going to steal a camel? Are we still stealing camels?
No. It sounds like we're staying here for a few days. What our goal is to just keep a watch on Zivit and to trail them if they start heading towards these ruins.
I say again, I should not be stealing camels.
Is the plan that we have? Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you are also in on that plan.
I feel like I know that. I'm a little disappointed, though.
This brings an idea to mind. Panabon.
Hello.
Keep busy. Keep yourself busy. Watch Zivit while we are here.
Neat. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong with that.
I mean, he's good at stealth. I mean, they're good at stealth, so.
So far.
And we want to believe that they still can.
Just do not harvest his pickies.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure whatever's going to happen in that ruins is going to do that for me. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it.
Okay. Well, with that, again, the sun rises on another day. As you travel, you can feel the moisture in the air, which at first is not welcome because that, it's a dry heat, right? Now it's not. And you're starting to sweat. You're starting to feel like your clothes are clinging to you, and it is unpleasant, and it's a little odd because for it to be this humid, you think about your ideas of what an oasis is. You picture a small pond, some palm trees, and so the idea that that's enough to generate this level of humidity is surprising. That said, the closer you get to the oasis, the temperature actually starts to cool down a bit, and it eventually gets to a point where it's actually a little comfortable, and you are seeing various plants now are actually springing up. They actually have green on them. The birds are much more numerous, and actually you see that they seem to be congregating in a certain area up ahead, maybe a few miles. And then in the mid-afternoon, you do see ahead of you, that is not an oasis. That's a lake. That is a full-blown lake that extends. You almost wonder if you can see the other side of it as you approach. Because it's just on the other end, it's flat, and then you don't know if you're seeing like the lake just extend into the horizon, or if it's the lake, but then the sand on the other side is reflecting the sun's heat and creating a mirage extension. You are uncertain exactly how large this is.
Now that's an oasis.
That's not how it was described in the books.
how does it keep from drying up out here?
This is a montage of all of us on our individual lines saying things.
Yeah.
like as we see it from our camels, like
whoa.
Yeah.
Ernie's just impressed.
You just see me like a little smile on my face because it's quiet where I am.
What does Panabon see? Like, what do they think when they see the oasis at first?
Panabon is thinking about the fact that I'm gonna not be able to enjoy this lake because I'm gonna end up in the ruins underground. Is what Panabon is thinking about. They're also trying to decide if it's a good idea to get into Grandma Drag to follow Zivid, or if that would be a step too far. So it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, the lake's great, but I need to tail this gnome, so what do I need to do?
The grandma at every store around Zivid the entire time. What about Rosalia? Does she think?
Rosalia is feeling the non-elegant sun on her skin and is feeling slightly sunburned, and so is her camel. So when they both see the oasis, her camel gets excited and takes off towards the water, which in turn makes the whole line of camels follow in suit. And she hates her camel and has not figured out how to ride it, so she's just on the camel as it's running towards the oasis / water. She's hoping it will stop sometime soon, but as she's feeling sunburned herself, she's just going to see where the camel takes her. But she wants to sound like she knows what she's doing, so she goes, yeah, yeah! And really she's just holding on and hoping that she doesn't fall off and die.
Okay. So, with that, you eventually see, as you're getting closer and closer, you see a wall that extends out, and like a mile ahead, it's just, it's really small, and as you're getting closer, it's getting larger, and then eventually, maybe half a mile out, you come to a corner of the fence, and there's a fence line now that runs down towards it. It looks like there's a whole large fenced-off area. And you approach from the southeast to the oasis, and I present to you a map. Hopefully it's not too big. If it's all gray, that means it's very big, because the only parts that are revealed are just the sort of southeast and southern parts of it. So kind of what you are able to see as you're approaching.
There we go.
There it is. I lean over to Shayloon and I whisper, Shay, find out how deep the lake is, because if we're going underground, I want to know if we're gonna face water underground.
She is thinking really hard of how she's gonna do that. It's like, I wonder if
that's all I say too. I don't offer any other helpful advice. I'm just like, it's like terrain check.
I'll just think on it and maybe come up with a plan for it. I don't know. My brain is also spinning with everything I remember from the books and when I had them and I could read them about okay, so this lake does exist. So how do I map out in my head where everything is based on how it was written in the book and stuff like that.
All right. Eventually you reach the front gate, and it appears that there is a contingent of individuals who are ready to meet the caravan. As the caravan kind of bunches in and compresses like an accordion, are any of you rolling up to the front, or are you content to just wait until whatever orders are given?
Staying in my line.
Same.
I'm pretty sure I'm in the second line, if I can remember correctly, which means I'm near the front, which means I'm going to move up because I'm curious.
All right. So greeting the caravan, apparently, is a man, perhaps nearing his middle age. He is. Let's do this and this. He's very, very finely dressed. He has a. He's got a cloth wrapped around his head, kind of in that turban style. Um, behind him are several armed guards, and just off a little bit more is another man. This guy is. He seems to be standing in confidence, even though he appears to be a little more disheveled and unkempt, but he's part of the welcoming committee, apparently.
Welcoming.
The Norsum and the first man, the man in the turban, they exchange greetings, and they talk a little bit. They appear to have an amiable relationship, like they already know each other. There's some discussion, and then he nods. She turns to Aurelia. Are you moving up close enough to like hear everything that's going on?
Yeah, I have interpreted my role as a bodyguard. So obviously, this welcoming committee has their own people to look tough. So I'm like, making sure that I'm flexing while I go like this and just look the part of the tough guy. So I'm gonna just stay close to Aurelia to like show like I'm the muscle here.
Okay. So yeah, when they arrive, Norsum, she hops off the camel and she strides up to the man and opens her arms wide. And you hear her call him Saksu. And he calls her back by name. They give each other a hug. He's basically asking how the road was, what happened, were there any bandits? She's giving that information back. It seems like the sort of thing you do, like the pleasantries that you have before you get to the business of, all right, what are we doing here? Eventually, they get to the point where he says, go ahead, put your camels down, check in, and then, please come see me after, he says. She nods, and with that, he turns and goes back inside the gate with his retinue. The other man is just still standing there, kind of just watching, appraisingly, looking across the caravan, just seems to be taking note of who and what are there. As Norsum turns and basically says, all right, well, bring them through, unload, and then to the inn. With that command, they kind of show with just their line at first. So the camels come in, they unburden them, and then the camels themselves go through this gate just to the north. There's a small gate there along the fence, and apparently they are allowed to freely roam in this large fenced enclosure. As the camels are unloaded, teams are taking them to this building that is just down around to the side. It appears this is an inn.
I'm gonna just turn to one of the other guards or Aurelia if she's over there and just say like, so all of the camels stay here. We don't house the personal camels elsewhere that aren't holding merchandise.
Well, we are going to be here long enough to take a break, so it would be best if you were to remove whatever from the camels. You'll need to refill your water stock anyway, so this is the camels will roam. Hopefully, you've marked your camel in some way, or it responds to the name you've given it.
Runia makes a mental note to do that.
And when we leave, we will saddle them up and be on our way.
Okay, great. And if, like, I know you said we're going to be here a couple of days. If I want to, I'm teaching my camel some tricks. Take my camel out to practice. Is it easy? Do I just go in and get my camel?
Yes, you will meet Sawa. She is the tender, and she will take you to the gate and take you to your camel if you have a need.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I'll have time to practice, but, this is the first time I'm at the Oasis, so just figuring I'd better ask first. Thanks. And then I turn back to my line. Like that wasn't the most awkward conversation ever.
One thing that you did notice, which I forgot to mention as you were approaching, so my bad. I'm very remiss to have mentioned this. Is there is a scent on the air. It's a very dried fish kind of smell, and it's the closer you were getting to the Oasis, the stronger that smell became.
Great.
And so it is very much, yes, it smells like dried fish. Smells like an Asian fish market.
Okay. All right.
So Danny, how far back, when are those of us in the middle gonna start seeing the camels go into the camel safari zone, as it were?
Yeah, you can kind of see it happening. It's just, the reason you would want to wait is not necessarily, it's so that you don't have to like truck your stuff all the way. So some folks are pulling their camels closer to the inn and unloading, and then taking their camels over. But yeah, it looks like it's a process. It's going to take, like an hour or so before everybody gets unloaded.
Okay. So I turn to Shane and I say, "Hey, do you like this camel? Because we should probably mark it or something like that, so we get our same camel back if you're attached to Lampira."
I was thinking that too. I actually have a chain for more of the trinkets to go around our necks. So maybe we could just put the chain around Lampira's neck.
Sweet. What do you think, Lampira? Do you want some jewelry?
I need Lampira's response.
It's.
I'm sorry. Could you say that again, Lampira?
That seems resoundingly positive. I think Lampira's into it.
You're clipping that, right? Awesome.
To be fair, I didn't want to set that up. I didn't actually expect that. I genuinely just wanted to make sure.
I was thinking about it. Glad you were, because I was thinking about it too.
All right. Well, it's okay. I'll always do that for you because I'm here for you. It does take about an hour. Go ahead.
Are there like little urchins running around?
No, there are no little urchins because you have. So this is a very. There's a wall. Actually, a fairly tall wall. It's about 20 feet. And there's a gatehouse there, and then you can actually see like guard towers along parts of the wall. So you have not actually seen inside whatever the settlement
We're not
is.
in it.
No, you're not in it. No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you don't go in it because the inn is down to the side outside of the wall. The inn they're talking about.
That sounds like a challenge.
Does everyone go that direction? Does Yuzenda and Yuzenda's retinue follow, or are they going somewhere else?
They are not. They seem to be waiting at the guard house for reasons. So
Are there any shadows?
Starting to be, yeah. There are definitely starting to be some shadows as the sun is sort of going down.
Okay. Well, there's a wall and there's shadows, and I've been told I need to keep an eye on Zivid, so this seems an appropriate time to slip off the camel.
Okay.
And melt into the wall.
All right.
Pink Panther style.
Pink Panther style means something will go wrong, so just calling that out.
Right. No. This is the Pink Panther where things go right. It all goes right eventually. But no, you get the idea. Like, I'm not Kronk. I'm not doing a theme song.
As the rest of you are getting closer and approaching, there's this sort of disheveled man that's kind of watching the proceedings. He's taking note of everybody. You could kind of see it looks like he's kind of getting the measure of everyone as they come in, and then once he's satisfied, apparently he turns, and you notice for the first time, kind of on each side of the gatehouse are two statues made of the same stone that is all just kind of throughout the area. They're man-sized. They're not like huge giant statues, but he appears to be giving them a once over and inspecting them. Anyone who is paying any particular attention to him might want to make a perception test.
I will. Right. I haven't taken my eyes off this shifty looking guy.
Nope.
Jesus.
Everyone's like, we're looking at everything. All right, so...
Sorry, this is to watch who?
This shifty guy that I just presented onto the screen.
Gotcha. All right, I'll do one too since I'm with Panabon and Panabon.
Well, Panabon got off and is watching Zivid. So
I see.
So I'm ignoring Panabon's role.
Okay, that's fine.
There we go.
Right. Nice.
So Shayloon and...
the leader.
Why do I have to do everything, guys?
Sorry.
Perunia, you're not sure what it is, but it looks like maybe a small rodent or something. It just kind of like skirts around the legs of the statues and then disappears kind of behind some brush. That's, I mean, makes sense. Little rodents. Shayloon got a little bit better of a view. And the impression that she got was like a monkey, maybe like a little small monkey creature that had some sort of oddities along the back, that kind of running down the back. Definitely not an animal that she has ever noticed or seen or been aware of from any books or anything like that.
It might be another creature from the Shadow Fae.
She says out loud.
Her own head. Or mumbles to Lampira. What does Lampira say?
Nothing. Lampira just sits there looking.
Lampira, you're such a listener.
Much better than all these crazy people I'm writing with.
You never do anything stupid.
After a time, the man appears satisfied with the statues and goes inside the gate. I will give Shayloon another perception test here.
Yeah, because once I put Lampira away, I might go chase this thing.
Okay.
Rolling good tonight, girl.
Yeah, she's doing
As
Happy
he-
dance.
As he opens the door and goes in, you see a flicker of movement up the side, up the wall, and then it turns and dashes and then kind of crawls in through the doorway behind him, and then the door shuts.
And this is which building?
The gatehouse. You're right in front of this gatehouse.
Does it look like the thing was close enough that it like knows the guy, or is this more of monkey business?
Hard to say.
Well, I'm not going to take any action just now. I'm gonna get. Yeah. I've literally just crossed the threshold. I should not cause trouble yet.
Right. So once everything is set up, the camels are put away. You go over to this inn apparently, and are checked in. The proprietor is a fellow named Zusi, who is very happy that the caravan's here. You get a sense that like this is generally where people that come through on caravans stay. They don't actually go into the oasis a lot of times. There is a period of time when the gates are just open and people are allowed kind of to go in, but for the most part it's enclosed and closed off. They don't want like necessarily visitors throughout the night. Panabon, as you're just kind of staying outside and watching what's going on, eventually someone does come out of the gatehouse. Another ostentatiously dressed individual speaks to Uzenda for a little bit and then nods. And Uzenda and the two guards go inside the gatehouse after. Zivid kind of sighs, shrugs his shoulders, hangs his head a little bit, and then goes and like gathers his things and starts schlepping it all over towards the inn, which is the Suslam Hanse, Hanse just being the word for tavern.
How tall is the tavern?
The tavern is taller than the wall. However, the closest distance between the wall and the tower is going to be about 10 feet. Or the wall and the corner of the inn is going to be about 10 feet. And that corner of the inn is not necessarily taller than the wall.
Okay.
But you could go on top of the inn and look inside.
I love that idea, mostly because my spatial reasoning sense is like not working at the moment. So let's go with that, because that sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
I'm a fan.
Right now?
As long as I'm not going to be spotted by anything, yes.
I can't
definitely.
tell you if you're going to be spotted. I am going to tell you that it's not dark.
It's true.
And that if you're on the roof, you won't be in the shadows anymore. Because you'll be on the roof.
It's true. Yes. And Uzenda has gone into the inn? Like
Uzenda has not gone into the inn. Uzenda and his two guards have gone into the gatehouse.
Interesting.
But those two guards does not include Zivid.
No, Zivid did not go into the gatehouse.
Yeah, so I'm not too worried.
That's true.
Zivid seemed put off that he wasn't allowed to go into the gatehouse.
Okay, how do I do this? I'm going to let loose a couple of ball bearings to see that if something shiny goes across, if anybody's paying attention to see where noise happens first.
So you're throwing a rock into the oasis, into the wall.
Yeah, just to see if it garners anybody's attention. Because right now I'm in the shadow, so...
So down at the bottom and left of your screen are all your dice. The third one from the left, you're going to right-click on that. and you're going to see a percent sign appear. You're going to click that percent sign and hold and drag it over this thing and roll a percentile.
Okay, I
I've got a
see the
bad
percent
feeling
sign. What
about
am I
this.
doing?
Yep. So you just
Oh, it'll be fine.
click that as if it's the dice, hold and drag it into the chat area, so that is where you will roll it. Or maybe not. Maybe you just click it and it. Yeah, if you click it, it actually gives them to you. You don't have to. Oh, that's fun. So just click the percent. You'll see the 2 dice appear, and then you can drop them. There we go. All right, so you throw a ball bearing. You don't even hear it land on the other side, really.
Is that 10%?
It's 10%, yes.
You just summon your god at at like level what?
Yeah.
Everything above 10.
Yeah, nothing.
So it doesn't hit anything?
Well, okay. I don't know that you have a sense of the size, the scope here. If you look at the upper,
You're right. I really
if you look in the upper right-hand corner of this map, where all these bushes and stuff are, you will see the little yellow camels.
Where's the map? Oh, Oasis daytime? No. Zuzum
No,
Oasis.
Suslim Oasis.
Yeah. Okay, so there are the camels. They're cute.
So that's a
and
camel.
adorable.
So that should give you maybe a sense of the scale.
Gigantic.
Yes. Okay. Well, in my head, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. It's a ball bearing, you know.
Yeah. I have my stuff with me, right? I could become. I could go into Grandma Drac and pretend to be lost if I need to, right?
You could potentially do that, yes.
In the middle of.
Oh.
That was perfect timing. That was perfect.
No bullshit from Alex. For
Else is not having it today. None of that.
I mean, you know, you
So
could just
sorry.
wait until it gets a little darker too. Like once it's nighttime, you probably, being who you are, would probably just have run of the place. Honestly.
Yeah, let's do that. Can I do that in such a way where I can keep an eye on the like where I saw Zivid go into, or the
Zivid is
gatehouse,
in
like,
the inn with you all. So it wouldn't be hard for you to figure out what room he gets, all that kind of stuff. That's easy enough. So everybody is here in the inn, except for Uzenda and his 2 guards went inside the gate. So everybody else is in this building.
Yes, where the lovely arrow is. And where am
Yes.
I?
In that building as well, because that's where Zivid went.
Okay. Yeah, I can just hang out here for a little bit. I'm not doing anything. I'm in a shadow. There'll be more shadows soon. I don't need to impress anybody.
I'm gonna go up to Shayloon and be like, your thing, it goes places, right? Mm-hmm.
my thing,
Circle thing, circle.
Minya?
That's the one. Can it go into the gatehouse?
If the door's open.
I look out to see if the door is open.
It's not. It looks like it's closed mostly for the evening.
What if I go knock, say I have a question, and then say, forgot my question, and then while the door's open, Minya rolls in?
That is a possibility. You could do that.
I'm suggesting it to Shay.
Is Are there any more? Are there any windows or the top entrance? Something a little less obvious than a seeming to be toy rolling in.
I roll perception on the building to see if I can understand the layout more to tell Shay.
I mean, it's a gatehouse. There's guards. There's guards standing out front.
Are there
Um,
windows?
There are windows that don't have glass in them, so they're just kind of shuttered.
So we could throw Minya through the window, right?
I'd say more of like crack the shutters and put her in that way, but probably best to do at nighttime. Why are we doing this?
I was gonna say, can I see from where I am, everybody conspiring off in the distance?
Sure. I mean, you're just checking into the inn for the evening, and then you got kind of have.
So are we all like our camels are all settled, and we're just in the inn getting our.
You're
shit
in the
together?
inn, or you're standing around in front of the gatehouse conspiring, or you're
We're not doing it directly in front of the venue. I just keep peeking out.
Where they are.
Then I'll just put myself next to Locks because we're a team. What the hell is everyone doing?
There's probably some scheme going on.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm with that. And I go over to the bar to order food.
Okay. So you're getting your dinner. It appears that they've got a special meal prepared. Caravan comes in. That's when they do the prime rib and everything. So it's there's no prime rib, sorry. But there there is good food. There is.
We must leave. I was promised prime rib. There's no prime rib here.
Seems that one of the things that's on offer is a sort of breaded, some sort of creature, some sort of water creature. But if you've ever had fried calamari at a restaurant, that's there.
I want that.
There is a noodle, sort of a noodle chickeny dish that has a really dark sauce over it. There's
As we're being told what's on the menu, I make eye contact with everybody else in the room and wave them over to the table.
Oh, maybe Aegis has an idea.
Oh no!
Aegis orders
He
the
does.
spread.
He does have an idea.
I want to ask the bartender or the person taking orders just so if some people from a caravan were interested in trying to see the inside the oasis, is there a petition? Is there a way to like ask to be let in for a few hours? I would love to see what all of this wall is protecting.
Yes, in the daytime, they open the gates for most of the noon and afternoon time. If you wish to go in then at that time, certainly you can. Just in the evenings, they prefer to keep outsiders outside of the walls, which is why they've allowed me to establish my business here. And so, yes, we are out here. The orcs, they stay out. I don't think they even want to stay inside the walls, but they're down by the beach. And yes, so just wait till the sun comes up, and after breakfast, they'll open the gates.
And all of your food, is it locally sourced, or do you have it sent in from somewhere else?
Well, so
The important questions.
Susum Oasis is Susum Oasis is the source of a trade commodity that we export out. I would be surprised if none of the merchants in your caravan anticipate picking up this any of this sort of delicious food. Sorry, I lost my note. But as he says it, he is dropping a bowl in front of you that has little, it's like a center part, and then there's little like parts kind of coming off of it. It is definitely some sort of small squid type of thing. Looks like it's been roasted, maybe. Perhaps a little bit dry. Perhaps dried some. I'm about to tell you what he calls it in just a second. I apologize.
I mean, as long as it doesn't have broccoli and on fire.
There is not broccoli, except it is similar to broccoli in that it has like the stem part, but instead of like the floret, it's like these little tentacles that shoot out.
Oh, so it's like this place's version.
The worst part of broccoli is what it is. It's the worst part of broccoli.
I order a baby face special.
Yep.
You order a what?
A baby face special.
Danny clearly hasn't been watching our other shows, guys.
I protest 10 o'clock in the morning Dungeons and Dragons.
This is 8 p.m. on
It's a PM Thursday.
Oh no, I watch that when I'm available. I do.
Yeah, so he's just missed all of the drinking antics. So Danny,
sometimes I'm on Talk It Out. Okay, so it's he places another plate down and he does call it, it says he calls it zangudon, which they get from the lake here, and that is the export of this town. And so for the most part, other things are brought in. So that's how they trade. They trade with the merchants. They buy stuff from merchants that come in, and then they sell this squid-like creature to the merchants to then take elsewhere.
I have a question. Does this squid-like creature have ink? No, this is actual, like, have you ever had noodles that have like squid ink on them?
Right there in front of you is a noodle dish that has it's got like chicken, and it's got a very
sauce. That's what I thought. I couldn't tell if it was like a sauce or it was like that kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah. I want that now.
Perunia does get distracted from her asking of ideas about this delicious looking food.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, it's very much the basis of this meal is that. You get an idea that part of it's kind of to sell people on it if they're traveling through. So then they, you buy a lot of it and then take it with you to somewhere, so
it's good business.
Yeah. So, but yeah, dinner, you're having dinner.
Feels nice to get off of those crazy animals.
Is it family style?
Yes,
it's gonna be great.
So I'm making my plate and I'm throwing shit that Locke has never seen before on his plate. Try that. Try this.
Oh my god! What?
This is delicious. Try this.
No, I don't.
No, it's good. It's good for you. It's good. It's good for your metabolism.
The first thing I eat. How does it taste, Danny?
Roll for it.
Yeah. All right. What do I roll?
It depends on if Lox likes seafood or not.
Well, I would say he's had seafood. He's gone fishing, but he's probably never had seafood cooked in this way. So I would say it would probably be very different.
Survival. I think that's a good roll for it.
Yeah, let's survival. Maybe I die.
It's for you to decide. Do you like it? So it's okay. So it's think about like preparations of any sort of squid or cuttlefish like that. Right. But then throw in like a sort of a curry spin on it.
Yeah.
So if Lox likes that, then
yeah. So what I'm gonna say is, it's got an interesting texture and a taste that I wouldn't immediately think was fish at first.
That is positive, I think.
Yeah, not negative.
I put more of the same of that on your plate. Well, 1 or 2 more will not hurt.
The breaded stuff
just my mom.
is very much like calamari. Yeah. So food happens.
He just shows love by food.
Yeah. That's Aegis's love language.
Zivid comes down and does take some time. Kind of picks at his meal. He looks a little less enthusiastic and adventurous about eating. And he's just kind of sitting by himself, looking sad.
Mr. Zivid.
Yes. Yeah. He hops up and he comes over. Yes. What can I do? What can I do for you?
Sitting by yourself, it's sad. Please join us.
Thank you. Yes. And then he sits down and looks at all the food and then he's like, oh, wait. And he jumps up and he runs back to his table and grabs his plate and his mug and then comes back, sets it down. Okay, I got it. All right. And he sits down.
And then I immediately start piling some food on his plate and go, Aegis is going to tell you this is great. Aegis is going to tell you this is great.
I replace the things that he got rid of.
This is so great.
Do not eat as much as you can. We will need the energy.
It's a little bit. It burns my tongue a little bit when I eat it, so I don't really care too much for that because I don't understand why anyone would want to eat fire. But the bread is good.
All right, more bread then.
Aegis takes him away and sends him back to sit by himself.
So I don't remember all of the ingredients, but I need a broccoli stalk. What else do I need, Sarah? Because I'm about to make a drink. I'm about to.
I don't know. I know that
it was on fire.
It was on fire. And it doesn't have to be the same. This could be some story that I've heard some random traveler give, but I want to make one at this table.
You can find something like bok choy instead.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I remember it was a bunch of different bottles, and I think it was red. And then
it was definitely red.
Yeah.
And then it has the broccoli stalk, which when you light it on fire, it singes the little florets.
All right, Mr. Zivid. I've got a drink that I heard a tale about one time in a bar back home, and I sort of light it on fire with some flit. And I go, and then I say, I'll give you 2 silver to try that.
What's in it?
Alcohol, something red that I found that I got from the bar because I was improvising, and some bok choy, or not bok choy, whatever they call that green thing here.
Whatever that green leafy vegetable over there is. I mean, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty dang strong. Be prepared. It'll make you pretty damn baby-faced. That's for sure.
I don't even know what that means, but okay. And with that, he waits till the fire dies down, and then he drinks it.
I'd just like to say that being baby-faced means that you have some drool, and then you kind of laugh because you have gas, and then you also make cry faces because it also hurts.
Y'all call Panabon weird for just wanting to stab people, and then you create drinks like this. I just want to clarify. Panabon's not the weird person in this group. I'm just
Technically, chat created the drinks.
Yeah, chat created this drink, and also this is, the Rim Alternus like shared universe, multiverse.
Danny, if I have to suffer through this shit, so do you.
No, I just wanted to
to add it because it's fun.
It's the end of the
not
night,
a real
right?
drink. I just make it to make him have fun.
So he just kind of he's like, yeah, that's like you didn't put much red stuff in there, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Here you go.
It's the end of the night, right? It's pretty much nighttime, right?
Yeah, it's getting to be dark. Yeah.
I say to him, "Yugu, Mr. Zivit," and I say that's my healing word. as he's cringing.
That's strange. What did you do? Is that some sort of you're from Denong, right? Is that like a Denong a blessing thing?
Yeah, you can call it that. So being the one with no bedside manner, I'll just let us just address the elephant in the room.
Where?
That was adorable. I understand that you are in danger, and we are going to help you.
I am.
I look at Locks.
He knows. Let's just make sure we keep our voices down. We don't want.
I mean, I don't think I'm like in danger particularly. I just you guys said maybe I should be careful because we don't really know what Uzenda's plan is.
We call the threat of death.
That's a theory.
Okay, so with that theory, where's Uzenda right now?
Oh, he has friends that he's staying with.
Right.
Here.
And being his lovely guide here, I would think he would be really kind and invite you to stay wherever he's staying.
I think he sees me more as like a servant kind of level in terms of so I mean he's paying for the board here, but
This man doesn't sound like a friend.
He's not a friend per se. He's just a guy that's is interested in the knowledge I have, and I'm going to guide him.
Shaylun, will you repeat what you heard about Zivit, please?
I've already told him.
I mean, I know. I just
sometimes delusional people need to be told more than once.
Aegis.
Flash Hermione scene. I'm not an owl.
I mean, it's not like I can just hide away. Once we're on the caravan, I'm kind of here. Like, if that's what's going to happen, and then like I bolt, then he's going to just send his two guys, and they're not very nice. So
we don't want you to run, but we will keep an eye on you while we are here. And I look at the rest of the crew because I'm not the leader. we will possibly guard your life on your expedition.
Okay. Okay. That sounds that sounds great. Yeah.
And you will give us 500 gold to do it. No, I'm just kidding.
No. But the one thing I think is really important, Mr. Zivit, is we will do our best to be following you when we can. But if there's a time or a way for you to leave like a sign, if you have to rush off with this Uzenda, we should probably think of something now.
Oh, you mean like break all the branches as I walk past?
Something like that, or
well, there wasn't many branches, so maybe something else. Like I could just like drag my feet, maybe. With that. Yeah. Sure.
Like
okay.
Tracking helps. You got the really amazing invention by my friend Miss Shaylun right here, right? That's a last use resort. Like if something dangerous is happening.
Yeah. The whistle. Yes.
If you are asked to leave your
your in-room in an ungodly hour where people would be asleep, you could leave a note or just something behind, something important that we could find.
Also, wait, has he met Panabon?
I don't think. I mean, he's
We're at the same table.
Yeah.
No, I mean previously.
Not really.
No, this is Panabon.
Yes. Hello. Nice to make your acquaintance.
You're muted, John.
He's very
You're muted,
quiet.
John.
Am I actually? I thought I was still outside. Am I at the table?
I mean,
Pretty sure we brought you in.
Yeah, we reined it
Because
all
he
in.
Yeah, he just called us all in.
Did you come
well,
in?
Good.
to eat food and then to go do your things that you want to do later.
Sure, I love eating. Eating is great. Good times.
This is the individual you should look over your shoulder to make sure they are watching you. Panabon will watch you while you
Hello.
are here and maybe track you in your expedition.
And sometimes Panabon looks like an old woman.
You two can hash that out together.
I'm sure I'm sure it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense. Yeah, certainly.
Usually not where I'm involved. Usually not. Just go with it. Pick a card. Any card.
What?
I just show my card. I just show the deck of cards really fast, and then I just put them away really quickly.
I'm really a little confused, but okay, I get it. You're Zena's gonna try to kill me after the thing because reasons, and you're gonna keep an eye on me. So if he tries it, you will stop him. I will stop.
Because we're heroes.
Unless you double cross us.
What?
He wouldn't do that, Panabon.
Because then he dies.
Okay.
That seems that seems very well.
Question, Mr. Zivit.
Yes.
Since Uzinda has been reacquainted with these books, have you heard anything strange? Any talkings about, hey, we got these things back. It's these guys, or any suspicious talk?
Not so much. He doesn't really talk to anybody. Like he bosses people around. I mean, here he's probably talking. He's probably going to go inside and like his friend. He'll probably talk to them. But like the two guards, they're not like his friends. He tells them what to do, and they do it, and they don't ask questions ever. I ask questions sometimes, and he responds if it's a question that allows for like a one-word answer. Then sometimes he'll answer it, and sometimes not though. He seems to be quite a private person. So he has not told me any suspicions that he has about the books. Yeah,
right.
Nice. So yeah. So I feel really like perhaps I'm gonna go to bed soon. Yeah. So thank you for the bread and fine company. I will retire for the evening and perhaps see you in the morning. We are meeting in the morning relatively early to start our journey. It's so yeah.
You wouldn't happen to be able to give us like a general direction of where you guys are traveling on the morrow?
Yes, I could. It is generally to the southwest.
It might be helpful if you drew us a map so we could follow you better.
I don't think I could do. I mean, like I could draw a line and it would be squiggly and like kind of my recollection of how to, but I mean it's going to be mostly like landmarks and me walking and remembering how I kind of traveled through. but it's just the southwest, into the the craglands over there, the stone areas. Yes. Um, yeah, yeah. You know,
How tall is Zivid?
Find your way back. Do you notate landmarks or just your memory?
it's probably going to just be my memory. So remember, like I crashed from and I didn't really have anything, right? So I didn't have like a way to write it down where I was going. I suppose I could have wrote it on my body, but I didn't have a writing utensil anyway. So it's just, it's just
That's enough. We understand.
yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go to bed now. I will see you in the morning.
Are you going to finish what is on your plate?
No, because that is it is gonna kill me.
I take it.
Pretty sure. Okay. Great. I'm gonna go now. He stands up and just have a pleasant evening.
You too.
Good luck,
Mr.
Zivid.
I look at Panabon like,
My gaze is following Zivid. If Zivid exits any other way except for the stairs, I will know immediately.
Yes, Zivid goes up the stairs.
We're gonna make
All right.
Zivid run away, you guys.
Yeah. So Danny, how tall is Zivid?
It's just you're short, maybe like 2 inches taller than you.
Okay. Did we get rooms, or is that we have just eaten? Like, do we have space yet in the inn?
There are, yes. You have carved out 2 rooms for yourselves.
Okay. I'm gonna eat quickly and hop down and head to one of those rooms and begin constructing a mask that looks just like Zivid.
Awkward, and I love it.
Okay, so you're gonna craft yourself up a mask. That's gonna take a little bit of time, not too much time, but a little bit of time. Is anyone else doing anything? It's definitely dark outside now.
At the dinner table, I turn to Shaylun and I say, I am learning to appreciate you for your calm demeanor. It seems like you are the minority amongst gnomes that I have met.
I as soon as he turns to me, my eyes open because I'm a little afraid of Aegis.
Feels like food. I'm chewing.
So I kind of just give him like an awkward smile and turn back to my plate.
That is precisely what I mean.
Yeah, that wasn't racist at all. Cool, Aegis.
No, it wasn't.
She just internalizes it all. Like all of that's happening, it's just in the head. So yeah, it's like I said, it's dark. If anyone wanted to do any dark time things, if
The only thing I want to do is sort of go on a walk and just sort of mumble to myself about vodka and like how I asked for help and nothing happened. What the f- is going on? Like also just I see these birds, I see these signs, but no clear like definitely trying to figure out what this is meaning for him, right? Like just sort of a little moment of him being like, so how does this work? Like, how do I know what you want me to do?
Sure. You walk. Which direction are you walking?
Sort of just around the wall to like, let's say west towards the side of the oasis.
Sure. So as you're walking, you pass a guard tower. You can see movement up there. There appears to be guards on the tower, and you see some tents and a large dome with sort of ramparts kind of all around it, except the ramp to enter. And it really makes you think of the lodge in Miracle complete with orcs standing in front of it. just beyond, you can see that the water is there.
I'm gonna walk to the edge of the water and just sort of look into it.
Okay. I will reveal a little more of this map for you then. It's not going to be much. You're basically going to just see water. So,
Cool. It's cool.
But
I revealed the location of the secret artifact lost to time 20 million years ago.
yes,
Just kidding.
Find out how deep the water is.
there's boats, so I mean, you could perhaps take a boat. You might want to ask permission if you took a boat, though.
Yeah, no, I'm cool.
Just taking boats from orcs. But yeah, there it is. You can see more water.
And I still can't tell if I can see the other side of this giant oasis lake.
Oh no, it's dark.
Yeah.
It's
just black. It's like
it's just like goes forward in darkness.
Yeah. I mean, he's just gonna sit there and sort of meditate on that for a little while.
Okay. Anybody else?
I go to bed at 9 o'clock sharp.
Okay.
Like an old.
I'm gonna go for a dip in the lake.
Okay. As you head to the lake, you notice the same thing. You see the orc lodge there. And you get to the water's edge. You see Aegis kind of just sitting, or not Aegis, Locke sitting, just maybe kind of meditating a little bit. Do you approach Locke, or do you kind of avoid Locke?
No, I just go in the water because I've been around people all day and I need to get the energy off of me. I just need to be in nature. So I just go underneath the water and swim out as far north as I can. I just chill.
Okay.
With my parents.
The water is very refreshing. It's very cool. It's very clean. There's some plants below, but you can tell that the floor is mostly like stone. So it's not there's not like a layer of sort of that like kind of grime slime feel. And if you're under the water and you open your eyes at all, you can see little flickers of light in the deeper parts of the lake. It's
signs of life or
little like light flickers, like almost like fireflies, but under the water. And it's I mean, you get about 50 feet out from the edge of the oasis. You can't touch the bottom and keep your head above water. And then you can tell it gets deep fast after that.
I feel like here in the water, there's no distraction, so I can connect with the other world better. And I can at least feel some sense that things are not chaotic over there at this moment, and they're calmer. So that makes me feel calm. And that's where I'll stay to cool off for the rest of the day. I mean, the rest of the night from the day.
Okay. So, Perunia, Shaylun, anything either of you are doing?
I go up to bed, quote unquote, early, like Aegis does as well. But actually, I ask Aegis, if you hear anything loud from my room, please come keep me from dying. And then I'm just real paranoid about being left alone now. But I go into the room and I actually am going to take full opportunity of this. Like, I'm stressed and I need my routine. So I open my books. I do my writing. I do my reading. I do some of my practice that I haven't gotten to do on the road as much. I do some of my tinkering as I'm thinking through problems and projects, and I'm hoping for some clarity and like that it calms me a little.
Okie doke. And finally, Perunia.
Yeah, I'm gonna just make an early night of it as well. After Aegis goes up, I'll probably have another drink or two and go up myself. If we're not gonna go figure out what's in the guard tower, Prunia's like, well, I have nervous energy because I want to like hit stuff, and this is not a hit stuff type of time. So I guess I'm gonna go to sleep and hit stuff tomorrow.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And so the night deepens. It feels good to not have to set a watch necessarily. The doors do lock. You do have your own keys. And it does seem to be a peaceful moment. The calm before whatever storm, metaphorical storm you will be facing when you follow Uzenda and his men into the Badlands to the southwest. And so closes our session on a little bit of a restful note. No big cliffhanger this week. I'd like to say again, thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch, to come along on this journey with us. And of course, thanks to the players for their brilliant representations of their characters, and to Tom, who is
Thanks, Tom.
always taking care of us behind the scenes and figuring out why these infernal contraptions want to mess with us all the time. So thank you very much. Join us this weekend for our streamathon. Prior to that, of course, we have all our regular streams through the week. We have Dresden on Monday, Shadowrun on Tuesday. We have Dungeons and Dragons episodicals on Thursday. And then this Friday, we're not doing a thing. Sarah?
Unmute. We are, this Friday is community game night. And there's a bunch of options in our Discord server of what we're going to play. So feel free to check that out and join us.
I picked Azul.
I saw that. Azul is a great game. I picked Azul and Stardew Valley, the board game.
Wait, there's a board game for Stardew Valley?
We can pick more than one?
I mean, I did.
Yeah, but you're the head honcho. You can do whatever you want.
But what we're doing is we're getting away from the weekly community game nights because we want like more attendance when we do it. So next Friday will be REM chats. So I'll be on, and if anyone wants to join me, they can. And we'll just be talking about business, games, life in general, whatever. And then the week after that is a play test for any creators that we have out there. So we're doing Funny Freak Out that Friday. So, and then Saturday is D&D Episodicals 4, which is episode 3 of Descent into Avernus, which is super cool. It's been great. And then Sunday, and then it's the streamathon. So,
I was going to say, does D&D start the streamathon, or is that a part of the streamathon?
So
or
it's the first. So the 37 hours actually starts at 9 a.m. and we're going to kick off 30 Women in Business panel. Got some really cool panel members coming. Some that you know from the community. Janity, who owns her own Etsy store and does nerd-themed crochet animals. I can show you a pigeon in a minute. And then also Jen Polly, who's on our Shadowrun stream and runs the Geek Forge. And then we've brought in a bunch of new people and friends from to the community. So if you've been seeing the general chat light up, that's what that is. So really excited for that. Then at 10 a.m. is going to be D&D Episodicals 4. And then we have a whole 2 days of 1.5 days of gaming that ends with like Clockwork right here at 7 p.m. on Sunday.
Awesome.
And there's still a couple slots. If you want to sign up and play with us, do it. Love to have you.
All right. So with that, once again, we are signing off, and we will see everybody at the streamathon and everybody else here for Like Clockwork. Like Clockwork. Thank you. Bye.